wanted to show you I'm making a dish. I'm trying a recipe out. It's a tamale pie. And I've tried them, but what I don't like is when you make them and you got all your cornbread at the top and the meat is not mixed in. So this recipe I found, you can actually mix your tamale in with it. So what you use is 2 pounds of ground beef. I have a little more here. And I had to actually use my microwave to thaw it, quick thaw it, because I'm going and helping cater a wedding today. Okay, so anyway, then it calls for 2 cups of tomato pieces canned or fresh with juice. I am going to use 1 thing of tomatoes. Instead of using 2, I'm going to use rotel for the other one. Okay, so I have the rotel, the petite diced tomatoes with sweet onion. I have 2 things of enchilada sauce, and then you're supposed to use 2 cans of corn. I'm doubling the recipe, so I'm using a cup of chicken broth, and I'm also using some Mexican and Colby and Monterey Jack cheese. Here's my other thing of corn, and it calls for using salt and chili powder, but I'm also going to use cumin in mine for a tamale pie. And of course you're going to add salt. Okay, the recipe tells you to take, and I doubled this, 2 tablespoons of olive oil with 1 onion, 1 pepper, 2 cloves of garlic, 1/4 of a cup of chopped jalapeno pepper, 1 pound of ground beef, 2 cups of tomato pieces, 2 cups of corn kernels, 1/2 cup of chicken broth, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1 cup of cornmeal, 1 cup of grated cheese, cheddar, jack, or any other that melts well, and salt. So, as I said, I doubled this recipe because I'm going to make a good bit of it. This is something to last all today. So, it tells you to go ahead and use your olive oil and your vegetables to go ahead and cook them for 5 minutes. Then you take your meat, you add your salt. Here I've taken my ground meat per the directions, and I've crumbled it and I've added salt to it. And so now I'm going to add this to our other mixture. Okay, so we're going to put our ground beef here. And then you cook this until your meat is done. We're going to mix this together and I'm going to cook this until the meat is done. Okay, now the recipe says for the cornmeal mixture, you boil 2 cups of water. I also use a little chicken broth. And then you mix your cornmeal with salt. And then you gradually add it into the water so it won't lump up. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just hoping I don't lump it up because, like I told you, it's my first time making this dish. And I'm probably going to need a little bit more water because I did, supposed to be 2 cups, and I think I did 2 and maybe 1/4. Supposed to stir this together. Well, this say the mixture will be thick. My mixture is not thick yet, so I just maybe my water wasn't hot enough, but this is not thick. Okay, my water wasn't hot enough. See, that's not thick. So I guess I'm going to have to put this in the microwave. Okay, so when you make this dish, make sure your water is boiling hot, like the recipe say, because I didn't, and I had to put this in the microwave to get it to the consistency that we need. They said it needs to be thick. And so it is thick. There are no lumps. And so now I have to add this to the other mixture. I'm going to transfer it into a steam full-size steam pan. Hold on. Okay, so now we're going to mix the cornbread mixture into it. And it is thick like they said. But again, remember you have to make sure your water is boiling hot. Again, the reason why I prefer this mixture, I don't like the big hunk of cornbread and then there's all this meat by itself. So I wanted to do this one where you actually have to blend them together. It may be a fail, I hope not, but I'm going to try it. It says stir this mixture into the other mixture, so that's what we're going to do. And I did drain, it was a lot of grease, so I had to drain some of that grease off. And then I thought about it, I left it because when you do hot tamales and you use ground beef, you don't even cook the beef, you just mix the stuff in with it. And that that grease actually helps to soften up your cornmeal or your outside casing, you know, of your, not the casing, but you know what I mean, the outside, the cornmeal portion of your hot tamale. So all we're doing now is mixing the cornmeal up real good into this mixture. And again, you'll see a little grease, but remember that's going to soften up. You know, like if when you make cornbread, you have to put oil, but that's going to suffice for your oil in this dish. Okay, and so now we're going to spread cheese over it. This is how it looks. That's the consistency of it. Excuse me. Sorry about that. The other one was sharp cheddar. It's the Colby and Monterey Jack. I'm gonna get around these edges a little bit. I buy my cheese when it's on sale cheap. Like one time I got some, the Kraft, the 8 ounces for 99 cents. You have to buy 8, so I just bought 8 of them and I freeze them. And then when you just put them on your counter and thaw them out, when you get ready to use them, they're just like fresh. These were actually frozen this morning. So anyway, so this is what it looks like. We're going to place this in the oven according to the recipe. It says to put it on 350 for 30 minutes. And so it may end up taking longer because remember I doubled the recipe, but while it's doing that I'm going to have to actually go and get ready to go cook again. Okay, so I'll show you what it looks like when I get back. Enjoy your day.